don't have to wait until you reach financial independence to start enjoying your life. You can do that much earlier and start living a life that you love and that's true to you. Welcome to Freedom Before FIRE. Using FIRE and life design techniques, we help you create freedom on your way to FIRE instead of waiting until you're retired to do the things that light you up. I'm your host Greg, a FIRE movement and life design enthusiast. If you're itching to get freedom now, then let's do this. Hello there, and a warm welcome back from sunny UK. Yep, it's surprisingly sunny here in UK. We're right in the thick of the summer season. And apologies for my voice. I get really bad pollen allergies here in the summer. We call it hay fever over here. So I'm a bit bunged up at the moment, and it probably sounds like I've got a bad cold. So sorry about that. You just have to bear with it, unfortunately. Anyway, we're spending the last leg of our trip back with my parents. We're in a place called Hertfordshire, which is about an hour drive northwest of London, or about half of that if you went by train. We're missing the Philippines a lot, and we're actually looking forward to getting back home. We've been on the road for nearly 2 months, going around UK, mainly around the north, places like the Lake District, Manchester, Edinburgh in Scotland, Newcastle, Leeds, and York. And New York is really nice, by the way, if you like visiting historical sites, historical architecture and things like that. And in all of this traveling, I think the number one thing that we miss right now is our own bed. All right, onwards with the show. So as you might know, I really love reading self-help books, and they can literally change your life as it has done mine. For example, you might be going along your journey, then you read 1 or 2 nuggets of wisdom from a book. That then changes your views, it changes your actions, and therefore your path in life changes as well. It's really awesome how that can happen. And you may not even notice it. So anyway, on these next 2 episodes, I've condensed the transformational books recommended from my guest in the first year of running this show. You might have already heard of some of the books mentioned, but I suggest you get your notepad out because there's a lot of hidden gem ones as well. Also, you might hear recommendations for other media like other podcasts and YouTube channels as well. Alright, so up first, we've got Alan from the YouTube channel Bahol is Awesome, and that was on episode 18.
It's old and we already talked about it, is the 4-Hour Workweek. I mean, if you haven't read it already, I would say that. I don't have any other really good book recommendations right now that I can think of off the top of my head, but I do listen to a lot of podcasts or a lot of video podcasts on YouTube. The Colin and Samir show, I think, is probably one of the best ones, at least for me, just being a content creator. That is like my side hustle passion, the things that I love to learn about and just get to know other people's situations and what they're doing. And I think it could apply to a lot of people that are looking for financial independence and whatever. I think there's a lot of good nuggets that you could take from that, whether it applies to you directly or it could spark an idea of something that you could do as a side hustle that could help you do the traveling or whatever it is that you want to do. Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway is the 4-Hour Workweek book and the Colin and Samir show, just for creators and people that want to do things online.
Okay, so we've got episode 20 next with Kenneth, and he's the founder of Cacao Culture and the Fire Movement PH Facebook group.
Number 1, I will give you 3 books, if that's okay, for everyone listening.
Perfect.
The 3 books would be The Richest Man in Babylon. That was really an eye-opener for me. That it was a series of parables or stories about money, about debt, about how we need to look at debt and our relationships. And this was based on a literal translated stories from stone tablets in Babylon, right? So if, for those of you who haven't heard of this book, these are stories that are thousands and thousands of years in the past, and it's still true today. How they talk about money and our relationship with it. So that's one. The second one is Show Your Work by Austin Kleon.
Yeah.
So yeah, so definitely when we were starting Cacao Culture, uh, we didn't show the finished product, we showed the process, right? So up until now, we're still evolving and we keep showing our work because you never know who's going to see it, right? So for those who are artistic and are very shy, and then they feel that they need to be a perfectionist, it needs to be perfect before I show the world. I would say that you need to read this book and feel that you're allowed to, and it's more beneficial to be able to show the work that you're doing. And one,
Mm.
maybe it will inspire other people, and then two, you might see supporters that you never know existed. You know, uh, we've heard some stories of people coming into our shops now that said, we've been watching you since the beginning, since how you struggled and you were making this chocolate product from your R&D, or you were just testing it out, and we're very happy to now you have a store. Those kinds of stories are really inspiring and puts our work into perspective as well.
Yep.
And then the third book would be from Simon Sinek, The Infinite Game. Have you read
Mm.
that, Greg?
Of those three ones, I've read the first two. I've heard about this one. It's on my list, but I haven't read it
All
yet.
right. So Simon Sinek wrote the book The Infinite Game, and it talks about looking at business like playing Lego and not playing like a finite sport like basketball. Because in a finite sport, you have a winner and a loser. You have a time frame, like four quarters you need to win. You need to win against someone. So if you look at business as always as a finite game, then you're always trying to beat someone else. You're uh, trying to always increase your sales, always increase your profits, sometimes to the detriment of your clients, sometimes to the detriment of your values, right? So the Infinite Game talks about looking at business more as a Lego. You just like to play the game. You enjoy playing the game. You have
Mm.
your you don't see other companies as rivals or competition, but someone that inspires you. Uh, Maybe you could learn what they're doing well that you could apply on your own company. And that really, we took that to heart. And then when the pandemic hit, we didn't see them as rivals or competition. We help them out and then we help each other out. So it was more uh about being inspired by what they're doing, even though we're in the same industry. So that's the third book that I would recommend to you, to the listeners.
Nice. Yep. Okay, so up next is episode 22 with Dave Visaya from the Big Picture PH podcast.
Yeah, so I've mentioned the Think and Grow Rich book. It's an old book. Actually, it's free now. I think it's in the library, so you can get to that. Rich Dad Poor Dad is one thing. That's why I'm into investing, real estate, of course, Bigger Pockets, which is the podcast. If you want to listen to podcasts, go listen to Greg or any financial freedom podcast because each person actually is different. Like some people resonate with Gary Vee. Some people don't, Joe Rogan and all that. So find someone that you resonate with. For sure, their lessons are more or less the same, right? They're just going to talk about the same thing, right? The core principles are there. So let's go and listen to podcasts. It has changed my life. And one other book, The Cash Flow Quadrant. It's really big by Rich Dad Poor Dad. You mentioned E-Myth. A lot of books out there, really. But yeah, those were the top ones for me.
Sorry, just really sideways question. That jar method you mentioned, was that in a book, in a blog? Where was that?
Yeah, so it's in the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. The Power of the Millionaire Mind, I guess. So that's another book, but I learned it from a seminar. So the Millionaire Mind Intensive, if you want to check that out, I'm part of, well, not technically part of it, but I signed up for, that's where I got the 180 figure from that group. So
Right.
yeah, very powerful if you're into financial independence, retire early movement.
Nice. Okay, so the next one is from episode 24 with Steve from the Frugal Expat blog and YouTube channel.
I've said this before, The Simple Path to Wealth is one amazing book to read. Another amazing book that I've told many people to read is Never Split the Difference. And that's a book about negotiations, and it's just a kind of eye-opening and learning about how to negotiate and create value through that. Those two books, I mean, can get you through a lot of life.